to JOGO. Today we're going to be talking about fear, and it's not just going to be regarding COVID-19 as most of you suggested, but I'm going to make it general and I'm going to give you a few ways to get rid of fear. So the first thing I want us to do is we have to understand what fear is, and we're going to Google it right now. So according to Wikipedia, fear is an emotion induced by perceived danger or threat, which causes physiological changes and ultimately behavioral changes such as fleeing, hiding, or freezing from perceived traumatic events. What we know is fear is an emotion, and emotions are hypotheses usually constructed by our brain when there are billions of neurons working together. And what I need us to know and understand is that we are able to actually control our emotions. The first thing I would say is we have to know our fear and the reason for that fear and rebuke it. Knowing your fear and the reason for it would help you come up with better actions to counteract that fear. Now, when I say taking action, depending on your fear, it may mean working harder, getting a better preparation, taking different measures, and of course, also praying about it. Prayer is always something that works. It definitely worked for me. So what are you afraid of? Are you scared of taking a math test because you don't like maths, you're not good at it? That was actually my case. So what you can do is, getting a better preparation, working harder, read enough, practice harder, and that would definitely help. That's something I did. Another thing about taking actions is sometimes it includes taking a risk. Maybe you're trying to start a business and you're scared you're not going to succeed in it, or you're literally going to quit your job and end up, failing. And that takes me into the next point. You have to practice completing your what ifs with positive endings. Usually whenever we say what if, it's always something negative. Oh, what if we all die of COVID-19? What if I also get infected? What if I start my business and I end up failing? And things like that. But how about ending that with a positive statement instead? What if I start my business and it actually works? What if I pray and I end up never, getting COVID-19? Get into that habit of always ending your what ifs with positive statements instead of negative ones. Now, when you practice that, something else you have to do is visualize that positivity. If you're saying, what if you start your business and you actually succeed? Actually visualize yourself succeeding in that business, and that would definitely, gradually help you get rid of fear. If you're saying, what if you never get infected with COVID-19, visualize that ending, and that also takes me into the next point, which is purge your mind and take total control over your thoughts. Stop living in the imaginary and live in the reality, because a lot of times fear comes as a result of things that our brain imagines. Living in the reality helps you take a better action. Your brain would literally have you imagine that you have already failed a math test. Again, that's my case. I'm sorry I keep talking about maths. It's just that's really something I used to be scared of. And I always felt like I was just a failure because I kept failing in maths. But then I realized when I determined myself to make it, and I told myself, you know what, girl, like, you've spent a lot of money paying for this course, you have to pass it. And I literally started practicing more, and that helped me pass the course. So your brain would actually your brain would actually have you imagine that you've already failed it. But the reality is you have not even taken the test yet. So you still have maybe a day or two to get prepared, to pray about it, and to relax. But your brain is already telling you you've already failed it. So you have to learn you have to practice living in the reality instead of that imaginary aspect of your brain. So in summary, the few points I gave to help you get rid of your fear is: know your fear and know its reasons. Take actions against your fear, and of course I said these actions may include praying. Of course, don't forget to pray, it's really important. Getting a better preparation, taking different measures, complete your what ifs with positive statements instead of negative statements, purging your mind and taking total control over your thoughts.
One last thing, guys, choose your news sources wisely and be very selective about what you see and believe on social media. That way you don't spend your time scrolling through and increasing your fear.
Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Please share it with someone you know it could help, and don't forget to subscribe. And again, y'all take care, wash your hands, stay home. I love you guys.